whenever you're ready, just let me know and we can get that, I guess, that bass line or that silence, whatever.
You want to get the bass line of what silence?
Don't you need me to like stop talking for like 10 seconds? And then you say, sync.
You know what's funny? Is that I've already hit the record button. I've already got all the silence I needed, buddy.
Okay, cool. So
yeah, we are recording right now. We are a minute in.
Oh, okay, cool. So we need to cut all of this minute out because that's not good. Okay, so let me reset. Let me just. That's how the music is come in. Hello, what's going on, guys? This is the Insufficient Breed podcast, and I am your hostess with the mostest, Savage, accompanied by Mongo.
Hello, how y'all doing?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking.
I don't care about it.
No one else is listening to this.
That's fine.
It's just me.
Whoever is listening to it, how are you doing? That's all I care about.
They're doing well. So, outside of how else they're doing, how are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm stressed.
Stressed out right now?
Yeah, I'm stressed. Well, not right now, obviously. Right now, filming a podcast. Not filming, recording a podcast.
Yeah, producing.
But, no, yeah, I was stressed this whole week. You don't know, but after I got off work, dropped off, our buddy and everything like that, I got home, and around 6:30, I fell asleep.
At 6:30 p.m.?
6:30 p.m.
That's pretty fucking early.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't wake up until today at 10.
Jesus.
Near 11. I got like 16 hours of sleep.
Well, your body needed it, probably. That's probably why, because it didn't want to get out of bed.
Probably.
Did you wake up at any point in between them?
Yeah, I woke up at 3, and then I woke up again at like 6.
Gotcha. See, I'm a heavy sleeper. I go through it the whole night. Unless I'm sick, then I'll wake up in sweats. That's my thing. But yeah, that sucks, man. I mean, at least you can say you rested this weekend.
I definitely rested. Yeah, and I feel a hell of a lot better.
So this week was been pretty long, and just the entire just week of work and everything else that went into it had been a pretty long one, especially because of the whole not having a vehicle now at this point.
Right.
Just relying on so many people it's such a drag. But starting with like Monday, I went to work, which was just its own task, doing my gig there at the metal recycling place. But Monday night was normal, some Apex and chill. Spent a lot of my time just running around in the new event that came out, and trying to just grind out some points so that I don't have to spend as much money on the next event, because this one isn't as great.
Right.
Personally. Tuesday, Wednesday kind of flew by. I don't really remember most about those. So we came home. Probably the best thing about those days was probably just coming home on Wednesday.
Those are the best times usually.
Right.
Anytime I leave home, the best thing I look forward to is coming home.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I step out the door, I'm like, I cannot wait to get back into this house.
That's the same way I am, but with my room, my entire, just the room itself. I can go to my fridge and be like, damn it, I want to be back in my bed.
Want to be in my room.
Yeah. So we came home, and the dog lately, I have a dog and a ferret, and lately the ferret has been a little sickly, so we let her just roam around now and want to make sure that her, if she is having her last few days, that they're as free as she can be.
Right.
And we came home and they were actually laying together in the same bed. I guess.
That's cute.
Yeah. Like now that she's kind of gotten that way, the dog has started to kind of be a little more friendly towards her, which is nice. I think that's honestly helping with the whole healing process. So that was cool. And then Thursday was unexpected, but I did take that day off. I woke up loopy as fuck. Loopy as fuck, dude. I don't know if you ever have woken up drunk, but that's the exact same way that I felt off of one muscle relaxer.
Just one.
Yeah, man. I took it at midnight, which is where I knew I fucked up.
Right.
That was the moment I was like, you know what? This is either gonna go north or south. And I woke up Thursday morning. I fucking stood up and went straight back down. I was like, hon, I'm not doing this. The whole room was spinning for about an hour. That wasn't fun. I don't drink as often as I used to. So it's definitely one of those things where like any sort of like manipulation to my equilibrium, like any fucking it throws me way off now. I have no resistance to that.
Mm-hmm.
So spending 4 hours in bed, you had dropped off your laptop, which I really appreciated, and I got a little bit of time in, downloaded some apps I needed, knocked out some chores, stuff like that. And after you so graciously allowed me to utilize the laptop, this whole week has just been me preparing for this podcast, like wanting to make sure that it was where we could go.
So one of the things that I like is you said graciously. No, it wasn't really a gracious thing. I'm all selfish on it because I'm just going to use him. And like the best way to use him is to give him the utensils he needs to use so I can use him. So it's nothing gracious about it. I'm just 100% using you right now.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. That's fine because it's honestly like this is the start of something so fucking cool. I've never been a part of anything, any kind of project that actually kind of continued past the first initial talk.
Right.
Most people I talk to, we kind of talk about how cool it'd be. And then that's it. Maybe we'll bring it up a few months later. It's like, oh yeah, that would have been cool. But we went about this in a way that has so far worked out. We went about this in a way that actually allowed us to have everything we need before we get started. And now that we're getting and going, it's like nothing's gonna stop us outside of my voice going out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
I've spent a lot of mental fortitude into it. And I've lost my goddamn mind.
Yeah, and that's not gonna be in vain. This has been a pretty fucking sweet experience so far, and I think now that I have the ability to actually produce some content on my own with this laptop, it's like I can actually feel like I'm putting into this now. I'm not just at home doodling on fucking paper.
Right. It's understandable.
But yeah, man. So that was my week. I don't know if you want to break down, Monday through Friday for us.
I can honestly tell you, my Monday through Friday has just been honestly just trying to find an outlet wherever way I can. It's just been extremely stressful trying to get this podcast thing working, up and running, trying to figure out what I need, what I don't need, going through all the different software, trying to figure out how the software works, trying to figure out how to make it work. Is there a loophole in this system? I mean, just all week I've just been coming home and just trying to figure that out. And it's just been really stressful. All the outlets usually I take are usually in the morning and for lunch at work. Usually watch, just a couple YouTube videos, just strictly just clips of like all the offline TV people. And then usually I get home and then stress again. And then for the last hour, I play Minecraft. And just relax.
I've been seeing you online. Yeah. Have you like set up you said you started a jungle biome last we talked.
We set up a jungle biome, and usually what happens is like I have two other friends that I play with, and usually what happens is me and another friend will stick together in one little area, and then another guy will go off running off on his own in some direction.
Scout.
And he's not a scout. He's just a loner, and he just runs off by himself. So we'll be somewhere at like, let's say 000, and then he'll run off to like -3,000, 8,000, and like 24 or something.
Not even on the map anymore.
Yeah, he's just gone. And I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Nice.
So like I tried to stick with my buddy, and we're building this giant tree house because we're in a jungle biome. So we're building tree houses, connecting bridges and stuff like that. And I managed to find my way into a ravine. And from that ravine, I ran down this waterfall. And I was like, you know what? Behind this waterfall would be a really cool area to set up like a nice little bat cave. So like I ran back to the treehouse. I grabbed all my shit. And I'm like, I'm leaving. Bye.
I'm running away.
I built a cave underneath the waterfall, behind the waterfall. And I'm only like, I don't know, probably like 80 blocks away from him, honestly. But so I ended up leaving him. But like that's just where I find myself right now. I mean, that's just, and then like,
Minecraft's relaxing as fuck.
Minecraft is relaxing, and I mean it's just super cool. The point it gets not relaxing is when you're running through a cave and you get lost, and then like you're trying to get out and you have no food and you have no utensils to break shit, and then like skeletons, zombies, and everything's trying to kill you, and
you have no one to blame but yourself, because you're like, I knew,
just like I fucked up.
I knew when I walked down that block that I was gonna be setting myself up for failure. Yeah, man. Well, that's great. I mean, like, as far as finding outlets and stuff, like, it's the same thing with everyone, you know, like, especially with everything that's going on this year. Everyone's had a fucking difficult time, more than I think a lot of us are used to, and finding ways to just be able to get that mental stress away, focus on something else for just 10 minutes. Like, that's honestly why I play a lot of the games I do, because it's not the 900 hours that I've put into Apex. It's the 20 minutes of time and individual seconds that I get to, like, just fully immerse myself in a game, in a world that has nothing to do with this reality. And that's why I put 900 hours in, so I can get 20 minutes of time that I really needed at, you know, individual points in the year. Like, I've put so much time in that stupid game, you know, for this game to be gone in the next 10 years, I mean, to never be able to say, you know, look at this cool account that I've been working on. I still don't have an heirloom, by the way, but, you know, that's not the point. Look at this cool account. It's not going to be there because we're not even going to be playing on these systems in that time. Like, we're done, you know. But I don't know. I digress. So guiding along, moving a little further into, I guess how I wanted to tailor this a bit. I wanted to go ahead and, I guess, start off with the first subject, as far as what I can kind of bring to the table this week. And in the past week, I went ahead, I looked up a few things this morning, right? I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I need to start getting shit together, because he's about to pick me up for this thing.
I woke up this morning and I ate breakfast.
Yeah, no, I woke up and I straight up jumped my phone and started looking up, like, news this week. What happened this week? And the only thing that I could find on most of the places that I've searched, the debates this week were fucking phenomenal. Like, I don't know, like, obviously it's not something that Mongo follows, you know, as fervently as I do. I mean, I'm one of those guys who can listen to the news all day. Nope. but yeah, right. So when it comes to that, and you know, I do want to just kind of give everyone here just a little bit of a rundown, if you don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, just so that we're all on the same page. But being a subject that I'm feverishly into, the debates this week were, you know, between two political opponents who are just trying to word their own truth. So that's basically how all of these debates have been, which is one of those things that I guess I wanted to try and bring back to how anyone else could relate to this, especially you, Mongo. I appreciated the information that I received from Joe Biden being contradicted by all the Trump's, you know, lies and everything else that kind of came out that way. It just kind of fueled two sides. And in that point, I was wondering, you know, maybe it helped some voters from the standpoint of, like, maybe I don't know who I want to vote for. But if you don't know who you want to vote for at this point, you know, with this election being so black and white in my eyes, you either don't care, don't want to care, or honestly you shouldn't care. There's a couple of categories at this point that people this far in should just place themselves. But that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about the topic. My question to you though, Mongo, I guess what I want to try and get out of the subject from you is, what is the, I guess, what would you say is your take on a debate where both sides are kind of just spilling their own truths, and, you know, 30 million people are watching who have already made up their minds? Why would Mongo present something like that? If you had any take on that question alone, like, would that be something that Mongo would do in his democracy? Or would you just go straight through the entire presidential election without any debates at all?
That's a very interesting question. And it's a question I definitely wasn't ready to answer.
That's why winging it, man.
The best way that I could honestly answer that question is that I would debate. Yeah. I mean, people, you know, if I feel like if I'm on, you know, something and everyone is supporting me and want to hear my voice, then I would 100% debate with people and debate against it. Would I, like, take it super serious, like, as my other opponents? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't prep as much as my other opponents. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would 100% just wing it through the entire time, mainly because it's like, all right, cool. I'm here to debate.
This is me.
This is who I am. I'm not going to sit there and prep an answer just for y'all to hear it. I'm not going to sit there and prep an answer for the majority to like, oh yeah, that guy has a pretty good. No, I'm just going to tell you how it is.
You're going to ask me questions.
Off the top of my head.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're going to ask me questions that I'm just not ready for. And I'm going to let you know, hey, that's something I haven't thought of. But you know what? Maybe. Maybe I'll go ahead and
something I'm willing to look into.
There's a bunch of other subjects that I've covered or that I will get into as this debate goes on,
and that's humility that you don't see these days.
And that's just how I am. I don't want to sit there and hire all these people like, oh, people want to hear this. Like, I don't care what people want to hear.
A PR group.
People are voting for me or supporting me for what I am, for what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to give them. I'm not going to lie to these guys. I'm not going to tell them, something is possible. If it's not, I'm just going to let them know that I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Like I have a limited time. There's only so much I can do. If there's one thing that I want to focus on, it's this. But I mean, if I have time to focus on other things, then I 100% will.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that's fucking, that's why the debates are so crucial. Honestly, and in my opinion, I think that we should really only have a couple of them. Honestly, there should be one where there's like just them two, and then there should be one where they both take questions from the voters, like absolutely. People who are apparently
flash debates.
Yeah, they flashed out on the street. Nah, I mean, like that was just how I wanted to go about that. I like that answer, man. That was honestly, a Mongo democracy would probably be more like a Mongo dictatorship. Not I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
So with that being my subject for the podcast, I guess I want to ask you what's been on your mind. What did you want to talk about this week?
What has been on my mind this week? Like I said, I can honestly tell you, going back to what I was saying before, just nothing. Nothing has honestly been on my mind. I mean, I want to start twitching again. I want to start live streaming, doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I've been just so solely focused on so much stuff right now. Trying to get this podcast up running, trying to make sure I have all the equipment that I need. Right now, me and a couple other buddies, we're looking into getting a house. We're trying to start a content creation house where it's just going to be nothing but full of like just new beginning content creators here in the city that we live in. And I mean, we're just like, there's so much that's going on, so much I'm trying to prepare for. And then, work has been just hellacious because, one of our bosses isn't there. So he's actually, before he left, he asked me to kind of pick up the work, make sure that the warehouse is nice, clean, and organized. So Hunter, isn't so stressed out about everything. So like that has been on my head all day, like trying to really keep, the warehouse, or all week, trying to keep the warehouse up and running, nice and smooth, making sure that like everyone has something to do, everyone's staying busy, all the customers are being helped. And that like really no one is really super stressed about anything in the warehouse except getting work done. And I mean, I think that's partially like that, like why I just fell asleep yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just my body was just such in pain. My head was just in such pain.
Yeah.
And like I laid down for a minute or two, and then by the time I knew it, I was just out. I woke up, it was 3 a.m. I didn't eat dinner. I was like, fuck, man. Like that was insane. And like I stayed on my phone for a little bit, and I just passed out again at 4. Gotcha. And then woke up again at like 10 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exciting, man. Like it's one of those things where it's like you're going to look back on this time and you're going to be like,
that time sucked.
That was the fucking grind. That's part of the part that we get to look back and be like, I fucking put work in. We both.
My boss is no longer allowed to take vacation.
Yeah. Hopefully not, man. I mean, with Christmas and all that coming up, and Thanksgiving and everything else, it's.
Oh man, that's more stress.
Yeah,
I gotta get Christmas gifts.
More time to worry about people and all that stuff. But hey, with this, everything that's going on.
Why are people so needy?
Everything's going on this year. Me and the wife are gonna just not go.
The wife and I.
Yeah, the wife and I are not going anywhere this year. We're not going to be hanging out with anyone. We're not going to go to family gatherings. We're just going to stay at home and try and enjoy as much as we can. Hey, bringing up that whole concept of spending time at home and enjoying as much time as we can.
No,
Yes.
No.
Yep. So on the way home,
You're more than welcome.
so on the way home, I need to go to Wally World and pick up some pumpkins. So
Why do you we got pumpkin last time?
yeah, no, I need to pick up 2 more because that one went bad.
Oh, did that one go bad?
After a week?
Oh man,
I told you it was gonna go bad.
It's almost like someone told you it was gonna go bad, and you should not buy a pumpkin.
I used it for practice, and we had a great time.
Did you have a great time?
We did.
That one pumpkin, you had a great time.
Yeah. So actually, now that we had such a great time, we're gonna buy 2. And so yeah, that's why I'm getting your answer on the podcast so that everyone else can hear how generous you are with your time.
Not gonna get you.
I'm gonna ask you again after the podcast.
That's fine. I'll probably say yes.
So, but yeah, no, dude, that's going back to like just spending time on grinding this out, dude. Like, I know you're putting a lot of effort into this, and I respect it. I also want to equally put in as much time and effort into.
Right, and you will.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this whole like past few days with this laptop that I've put more time and effort into this than I can say I had more passion for in most other projects. Like when it came to video games and other artistic things that I do, of course, I'm always an artist at heart, but this podcast, it means something to me. Like I really want to make sure that all the effort you're putting into, I'm not going to just let it just fall on its face. Like I'm not going to let you down with this nonsense. So this has been awesome. But like going back to, relating subjects and so forth, I wanted to roll into the last subject of the week, which was shitty job experiences. That's something I wanted to ask you about because at this point, I've had 21 jobs. I was counting earlier this morning, which is
it's a lot of jobs.
Yeah, dude, I've had a lot of fucking jobs. But that's good. It's one of those things I've looked back and said, in my eyes, I see so. As an employer, fuck no. But to me, it's one of those things where I got to figure out what I like to do and what I don't like to do by doing it. I didn't sit there and maybe contemplate the ifs and nots. I went out there and I tried these jobs myself, and I got that experience. So
I've also done the same.
Yeah. So like, I wanted to bring up just a couple of things, like when it came to the situation with shitty jobs. So like my shittiest job experience that I can bring up now, and I've had a lot of them, but the one that I can think of that kind of floats to the top first, I worked at a warehouse for a very big grocery store company, the big chain that's around here in Texas. And in that warehouse, we basically took care of all of the frozen foods that they would produce throughout the year. So this food company, right, they go out there and they produce like themed fucking ice cream and stuff for like strawberry festivals and Halloween, right? This year I was working at them at that place. For the 2 days that I was there, I was helping them make the strawberry fucking poteet flavored whatever ice cream. So my job, being the fucking stand-up employee that I was, working for the temp agency I applied to.
Or at least trying, yeah.
Yeah, so I told this temp agency, I was like, hey, look, Justine, I don't fucking know if her name was Justine, but Justine, look, I need a job that's not going to require me to travel very far. I'm on the bus. I don't have a vehicle. Justine's like, I fucking got you. Don't worry. You're a fly on the wall. I got you. I said, cool. So she catches me up.
It's kind of rude.
Messages me. Well, I mean, like I said, she got me. I'm dead. So she gets me this message. She's like, yo, I got this place. I send it up. I put it in my phone. I'm like, okay, it's a little far, but I'll try it out. I'll try anything once. 3 hours. 3 hours there and back for a 12-hour shift. So that's how my first day went. I get there 3 hours, 3 hours there, 12 hours. I have a 30-minute lunch. Yeah. And for 12 hours, I am standing at the sink in negative 10-degree weather. I have a jacket on. I have these boots that they gave me that are steel toe. Don't know why they had to be steel toe. We had nothing around me that was large, but they were steel toe and they were like kind of low cut. So all of the water that would be spilling out of the sink would just fall into my boots and just soak my feet for 12 hours.
That's nice.
Yeah, dude, that was like the best part. And I'm sitting there freezing my fucking toes off. And all I do is have some asshole run over to me and drop in fucking strawberries into the sink. They float to the top. I get the strawberry, I pluck the leaf off the strawberry, I throw the leaf to the right in the trash, and I put the strawberry into a basket. And that basket is wheeled off every 10 minutes. So my job is to make sure that that basket is as full as possible every 10 minutes before it's wheeled off for 12 hours. That was the experience. That was the job they hired me for at $8.25 an hour. Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't know what to say about that, because that's not exactly where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to be like, moving pallets of bullshit.
Mm-mm.
But no, you were standing at a sink, picking up floating strawberries, plucking the leaves, which is hard because I tried to do that.
With gloves. Yeah, freezing.
I tried to do that, and it's not very easy. And then fill up a basket.
Yep. And they would be wheeled off to go get mashed up and thrown into ice cream. That was my job. And bro, I'm telling you, when I tell you, I only did that job for 2 days. And there were fucking people working next to me who had been there for 20 plus years. How does somebody do that to themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like they were making any more than I was. I got started off at $8.25. They had been there for 20 plus years, and they were at $8.25 because that was the raise they had received in that time. Like, you're not going anywhere. So I don't know. That honestly, with the shitty jobs things, like, it's one of those like subjects that I look back on, and yeah, it sucks, but there were always people who had been doing that job for longer and are probably still doing that job today if they haven't already retired, Right.
But I mean, the situation dictates. You never
Sure.
know someone, and it's
Sure.
hard to sit there and say like, "Hey, man, you've done this bullshit for 20 years. How do you do it?" I mean, a lot of people can say that, probably about our current job. Like,
True.
you separate metal all day. How do you do that? You take apart metal all day. You sweep all day. I mean, our job is pretty much the same stuff every day. And what is it? Oh, it's
Yeah, it's a vehicle.
It's the vehicle outside. That happens to be my next door neighbor.
It's a nice sounding car.
Is it?
Just not right now.
Yeah. No, right now it kind of sucks.
That's
Because it completely threw me off from my train of thought here. But situation dictates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you never know someone's story, and that's why I don't really like to sit there and I don't want to assume that someone's in a situation because they're dumb or because they're greedy or because whatever. I just like to just work. I mean, obviously it's not for you. It's not for me. It's definitely not for me. I'm not going to stand at a sink and fucking pluck fucking leaves all day for strawberries just so I can go home and fucking eat ice cream with fresh strawberries. I mean, good on them, I guess. But I mean, someone has to do it. And if someone's willing to do it, they want to do it, more power to them. Go ahead. You keep doing you, dog. But, yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
But I'm not going to sit there and, belittle someone because they want to pluck strawberries versus, or, if someone wants to take out the trash or pick up puke or do whatever like that just because, it has to be done. Someone has to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. And I didn't want to come across like I was like, calling these people like pieces of shit or anything.
No, you absolutely were.
They're pieces of shit.
No, yeah.
No.
100% felt
Fuck those people from 10 years ago. Okay, so going on from there, what about you? You have any like shitty job experiences?
To be 100% honest, I really don't have a whole lot of shitty job experiences. I just kind of like you, I would try different jobs out to see exactly where, is this a job that I wanted to do? As far as probably Academy would probably be, no, you know what? Fuck that. Academy was decent. Mm-hmm. Working at Six Flags was really bad.
How long did you work there?
I worked there probably for 6-7 months.
Is that the shortest job you've had?
Yes.
Wow.
And I hated every little bit of it, specifically because our shit is just overpriced. And I hated selling that overpriced bullshit to people.
$7 drinks, dude.
I fucking hated it. But the thing is, I didn't even work for Six Flags. I worked third party through Six Flags.
Yeah.
So I worked for another job that was inside Six Flags. So we also had to pay Six Flags. So our shit was fucking jacked up I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. So you were paying for the fucking rent and the fucking
we were
shit,
paying for a little area and then, just buying the food and shit like that. I'm like, fuck, dog, this shit sucks. The one thing I did like though is we made what did we make?
Bank.
It's I wish we made bank. kettle corn. That's what we made, kettle corn. And that shit was fucking amazing. I loved making kettle corn.
Yeah.
Because you could smell that shit and everyone would line up to get a bag of kettle corn, like fresh, nice kettle corn. I'm like, hell yeah, this is what I like. I like making people smile. And I mean, that's just what I enjoy. You know, people come up and like, hey, can I get a hot dog? Yeah, man, that'll be like $9. Like
for
$9 for a
mashed fucking meat.
$9 for a hot dog? Like, yeah, man.
And
It's like,
bun.
do you have like, is there gonna be like real ketchup? Like it comes with ketchup packets.
And those are 50 cents each.
Yeah. And relish packets. And those are gonna be like 25 cents each.
Yeah.
The like kids would come up like, because we also had a snow cone machine, and kids would come up like, yeah, can I have a snow cone? And like, yeah, man, what flavor you want? I want all of them. I was like, all right, just to let you know, it's
$2
10 cents a flavor. It's like 10 cents a flavor.
Hey man, if you're at Six Flags though, you know you're spending bank because you want to have a good time. So the people will throw money at it just so that they can conveniently drink something.
No, I hated it. I hate every second of it.
No, yeah, it's a gouging process, man.
Funnel cake was cool too. I would make funnel cakes. I loved making funnel cakes. I was all about it.
It's fried batter.
Yep. Just fried fucking batter with some fucking white powdered sugar on a dog. All about it.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, I would try and hook people up as much as I could.
Yeah, see, I was that like that.
I was that guy. Like I hated it, man. Like just being so a part of that system of just like, hey man, we need money. I get it. You need money. We're a business, but like,
cog in the machine.
No, yeah, I just hate being. And I was like, luckily my nut was loose enough, and I just kind of worked my way out of the machine, and was like, yeah, I'm not going back. You know what
nut, and I was like, did not know where you were going with that.
Oh yeah, my nut, dog. My left one though.
Loose nut.
Yeah, my left one was loose. My right one's still pretty tight, but I got it. But it's great. So I left that place.
Good.
I told him I got into a car accident.
What?
And that I wasn't going into work. And you know what my boss says? All right, cool. I'm going to need a police report when you come in.
Oh.
And I said, all right, cool. I just quit.
That's a close cousin to being like, he fucking died.
No, yeah. So I was just over. I was like, I ain't going back. The people there, the workers there, they were cool. Yeah. I used to go out drinking with them all the time. It was fun, man. I enjoyed it every second of it. I still keep up with a couple of them.
Some of the coolest people I know worked at Six Flags, SeaWorld, all of those fucking theme parks.
Because we're all fucking losers.
Yeah, well, because you work at a fucking theme park.
We're all fucking losers. You know the worst part about it is that they had a uniform that we had to get through Six Flags. We couldn't wear like the normal uniform. Like our uniform was like a fucking bright ass yellow shirt with fucking khaki shorts. But these khaki shorts aren't like these khaki shorts, cargo shorts. Yeah. Couldn't wear cargo shorts. And no matter how many times I tried, I always get in fucking trouble to wear cargo shorts. I was like, bro, just let me wear the fucking cargo shorts. No, you have to wear Six Flags regulated shorts.
You could steal the Bugs Bunny shit, bro. That's the thing.
All I wanted to do was wear cargo shorts. If I could have worn cargo shorts, I would have been fine. But no, I have to wear Six Flags regulated shorts. And those shorts are like fucking... like
so tight,
ball high fucking shorts, and like it was just I just hated it. Yeah, I hated it. And then there was a cop there.
Sounds
like a little fucking border security cop there that fucking hated me too, because I always gave him lip because I was a security guard, so I already knew
what he could and couldn't do.
Like, what he could and couldn't do, and I was like, oh yeah, dog, I was a security guard, homie. I got the same licensing you do. Fuck off.
See, that's how I am with like, if I ever get an Apple device, I'm going to be able to call them and be like, hey, I need support. Just send me to the fucking tier 2 supervisor. And that person's just going to have to do it because I'm talking the code. Like, give me this fucking support because I'm not dealing with you.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
So yeah, I think that was just the job I hated the most.
Yeah.
Like I told myself, like as I was growing up, one of the things that I've stuck to is that I'm never going to work fast food.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I'm not talking shit about people who work fast food. Do what you got to do, dog. But
make that money.
Wasn't going to be for me.
Yeah,
it's way too many fucking people to deal with, assholes, things like that.
Rush hour, man.
I'm going to punch somebody.
That's literally where the term came from.
No, yeah, and the people who can work in fast food and not punch people, I applaud you.
Yeah,
like I really do. But it's not for me. I can't deal with stupid people, and it's just. I'm way too sarcastic to work in an environment like that, and I just can't handle it.
Yeah, we work together. I agree.
I just can't handle it. I'm way too sarcastic. I'm way too much of an asshole. And if someone pushes my buttons wrong, I'm gonna
push their buttons wrong.
I'm gonna headbutt them in the face.
You're gonna push their big button.
Yeah, I'm gonna headbutt them in the face. So,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I applaud the fast food workers, man. Like, you guys are insane.
Holding it down, especially in this day and age. This pandemic.
No, yeah, this whole pandemic
has like put them in a fucking spot where, yeah, they didn't sign up to be a fucking.
People could be lazy and not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to be, quote, safe.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm gonna be lazy, and I'm just like the whole COVID, blah blah blah. Like, oh man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And these people are just there. They're just trying to make a fucking dollar. They're not getting paid very much as it is.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who have to interact with these people who are just not taking this thing seriously.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
This is magic. I want it all. Shoot for the stars and circumvent Mars. If this is magic, I want it all. Raise up the bar and light up the spark. Yeah, I could fall 5 floors and land on a bar stool and still be on cloud 9. And I could have 9 lives, but I still wanna ride with only you by my side. I'm feeling like a rocket.
But anyways, moving off that subject, moving on to the topic that I really wanted to get to, the next half of the show, essentially, anime. Anime is basically where I spend a lot of my extra time outside of playing video games and watching YouTube. So no, I haven't watched Ajin. That's the first thing I want to say, so it hasn't been done. And so I did watch like 7 different animes this week, though. Like, I did get started on a whole lot of fucking series and continued a few old ones that I wanted to talk about. So getting a watch list together for me isn't too difficult anymore. I follow this group on YouTube that has a lot of great suggestions, and the ones that I can't watch all the way through, like those 800 long series, I get a pretty good analysis on some of them, like Bleach and One Piece and Naruto and so forth. But,
I still feel like you should watch it all the way through.
Yeah, at some point, and I've already watched through a few of the ones that I really wanted to, like Dragon Ball. I watched the entire series, which is not any small feat. It's like 200 something episodes, but
I mean, it's pretty small, bro.
In the larger context of things, it is actually pretty tiny. But that's my fucking participation trophy I have on the wall right now. Okay.
Okay.
So on top of that, I did check out Fire Force. Continued watching that.
Okay.
Got around episode 12. We met Benny. By me, I mean me and the spider monkey at home.
Yeah.
We met Benny, which quickly became one of my favorite antagonists.
100% one of my favorites.
Yeah, and characters eventually. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely still not. He's second place to the captain of the 8th company right now. I
would see that. Yeah.
Appreciate his constitution more than anything.
Oh yeah, I 100%. I can see that coming from someone like you. You just someone who is outside his element, but is also not willing to give up.
Yeah, just keep going.
Just keep on fighting.
Just like with sheer grit and determination, just continue fighting for what you believe. That's it.
Yeah.
So that was where I'm at with that one. I did start an epic. It's more of like an odyssey. It's called Bikini Warriors.
Bikini Warriors.
Yeah, on Funimation. It's really great. It has an awesome story. Trust me.
I guess I'll go ahead and start that one then.
Yeah, it's super good. It's all about justice and fighting for the right thing.
Fighting for the right thing in bikinis.
In bikinis.
Are men in bikinis also?
No. No, there are no dongs anywhere in that movie, in that show. So it's a little gender biased, but that's okay. It's fan service as fuck. So moving on, I did begin a show called Dodo Hiro. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Cool little anime from the 1970s, brought back to our modern day and age by Netflix. Fuck Netflix, but they did bring us this, so I do appreciate that. The English dub was pretty lame. Everyone sounds pretty fucking bad in English. Yeah. However, if you do watch it in sub, man, it is another level. They really nailed
Recommended
everything.
Watch all anime in sub.
Yeah, if you have the time. To be honest, I love watching dub when I have to cook or wash dishes or do something, Like if I can't stare at the screen, I need to be engaged. Audio, audio wise.
If you're going to watch anime, you're going to watch it subbed. Because that is where you get the most reaction out of the actors.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's some dub stuff that I do enjoy watching. Full Metal Alchemist. It was really good dubbed. Of course, I've watched it. That was one of the first animes I watched. So watching it dubbed is
Cowboy Bebop wasn't bad.
Cowboy Bebop.
A lot of the old stuff.
Just a lot of the old stuff is really
A lot
good.
of the old stuff.
I guess just because it's just that of the time.
I think they had a wider variety of voice actors back then.
And then I go back and I'll try and watch it, you know, subbed, and it's like it just doesn't sound right to me because I'm just so used to the nostalgic, I guess, feeling of watching.
I love the Japanese language.
Japanese language is also
it's really, a beautiful language to hear especially when you're like watching specific shows like Slice of Life and stuff like that.
Right, Slice of Life.
It only like comes across in the emotion that way.
No, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, they just, I don't know what it is, but the Japanese have their voice acting just down.
Yeah,
I mean, they just nail it every time.
Well, the competition's so stiff over there, man. That's what it is,
right? Yeah, it has to be just the amount.
You have to be fucking badass or have really good connections to continue getting calls, because there's just so many people.
Right.
Like, it just comes down to the population. But you know, so moving on, I did check out that one in sub, which I do regret. I did watch a couple of things, compliments of Bonsai Pop. Like I said, they kind of curate a watch list that I've been checking out, and I do recommend following ReZero. I've actually made it to episode 14 on that series, and it's really starting to pick up. There's some pretty good fucking scenes in that show that it's like they take their time to build the world, and then they go ahead and throw the main character into those situations so that you're not only there with the situation at hand, but the audience understands the grander scheme of things.
Right. And
it's really nice. It's kind of like we understand something that even Subaru is not. Subaru is the main character.
What's that? The car company?
Yeah, no, you're right. His name is Subaru, which really throws me off sometimes. But yeah, he's completely like, it's what do you call it, an isekai, when they go into like a video game world of some sort or another world. So it's one of those traditional isekai, but where it changes it up is that he's not presented a world that he understands immediately, and everyone around him who he's interacting with has their own agenda as to why they want him to stay as oblivious as he can be. No one really wants to explain everything to him at once. So he has to learn information by getting himself in some pretty fucking stupid situations. It's like me going around today and screaming that fucking Hitler is no one to be worried about. And if someone appreciates Hitler, then they're not someone you need to worry about. And it's like, but Hitler has another context in our world and our reality and everything that's going on right now, right? And this game and this world that he's sucked into, he's walking around like, why are y'all so afraid of the Witch of the West? She's just some bitch in the West. And everyone's looking at him like, dude, stop fucking talking so loud. Like, you're going to summon this bitch and she's going to kill everybody. You don't understand the ramifications. So you get to figure out the world along with him. And that whole mystery, that whole like putting it together really is worth the watch.
That's interesting. I mean, one of the really cool things is that you talk about ReZero is that my buddies that I actually play online with also talked about ReZero. They talk about the second season, and they always hate it when I join because they want to talk about it, and I'm just like, too bad. And it's just funny because like I don't really make time to watch anime. It's just like if I don't feel like doing anything else, then I will watch anime. But most of the time, because I'm just so collectively doing other stuff, I just want a game as my outlet. Now, when I get bored of gaming, then I'll probably watch anime. But for the most part, it's always going to be gaming. But ReZero is definitely another anime. I mean, I feel like you're suggesting it to me as well to watch.
I'm just saying it's good, but I wouldn't suggest it.
Other two buddies want to interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
Are also suggesting me to watch it. So I will move it up in the list of things to watch.
Yeah,
I have a list. I have a long list of other things that people want me to watch. I mean, I have like Konosuba. I have so much other stuff.
That's why I wouldn't suggest it. You know, honestly, it's one of those things where I know you get suggestions a lot. I'm barely into this whole foray. I've only started watching anime this year, and I'm one of those people who, like, if I get into something, I really get into it. Yeah, you're showing me that's a lot. And I'm one of those people who, like, I really want to dive into it for a while. So given that we're doing this podcast, I've also taken it onto myself to create that time, I guess, to start appreciating more anime. I normally don't watch anime at all. I'm an Apex and Legends and chill guy. I sit at home, I play one game, and I don't move until I go to sleep and wake up the next day to go to work and do the same thing over again. And some people find that boring. It's a very linear lifestyle, right? But right now, especially with things the way they're going, I love the sense of normalcy that it has been creating for me. And so going into this whole like becoming a podcaster, doing this and trying to do it as professionally as possible, I'm almost treating my free time as a job now. I come home and I tell myself, okay, cool. I need to watch this show. I need to knock out this series. I need to formulate an analysis and an opinion on this content. And it's no longer, hey, what are you doing tonight? Nothing, chilling, doing this. It's, what are you doing? Oh, I'm knocking out this show. I'm writing this stuff. I'm preparing a script for next podcast. Like, I'm trying to make this like 100% what I worry about at home.
Yeah.
As far as like content that I now consume, it's not just let's watch a show because I'm bored. It's more like, let's watch this show, and 70% of my brain is going to be analyzing what I'm viewing. 30% of it's going to be trying to enjoy the visuals and the sound. But 100% of me after that show is going to be dedicated to writing a short summary in my head, if not on my new laptop now, that details what I think about it so that I can kind of process that stuff throughout the week. And just provide this kind of information, my take, my opinion,
right, for
our audience, our eventual audience. And that's just something I want to do to take them seriously, because we don't have a Patreon. We're not making money off of this. And at this point, you're really the only one who's put the most amount of money into the project. I'm just offering my voice, my opinion, and I want to make sure that that's as meaningful as possible. Like, you get as much as the audience gets from me for that. So that's why I've kind of set up a lot of time this week to watch more anime and get started on that process, because it's really something that I'm starting to appreciate. I like anime. I liked animations, but I've always appreciated how it's a medium that started off taken seriously. The Japanese people started this whole medium in a serious light. They wanted to tell stories that actually felt like adult novels, stuff that people could relate to and analyze and go over. Whereas in America, I feel like cartoons started much more in a kid-centric way. If that makes more sense. If that makes any sense to you. Does that resonate?
I mean, I feel like it does. I honestly haven't really put a whole lot of thought into the whole reason of why certain things exist, the way, the reasons are. I feel like anything that comes across as far as, gaming, anime, shows, movies, things like that, it's all made with entertainment purposes. Now, I feel like, back in the day, did the Japanese take it a little bit more serious? Yes. I feel like they took it a lot more serious as far as like the entertainment goes. Like, hey, we need this to be funny. We need, certain things like this to be, great. And I mean, and it kind of shows, based off, like you were saying, the different cartoons and everything like that. I didn't watch a whole lot of cartoons. I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry, Animaniacs, stuff like that.
Same.
And, those were actually really cool shows. But like going back and thinking about, what was taken seriously, what wasn't. I feel like there's just certain directors, certain publishers that were taking certain things seriously. I mean, you got, going back to like thinking about like movies and stuff like the Naked Gun series, like that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was, ridiculous, but it was funny. Or like anything made by like Mel Brooks was absolutely just hilariously funny. Those directors take certain things seriously and others don't. And I just feel like that's just kind of how it was, back in the day. I mean, it's crazy to sit there and think about, Japan and, the future that they probably saw, these creators, the future that they saw that this anime was going to be. I mean, do you sit back and think that Sailor Moon is going to be as big as it is?
Right.
Do you sit back and think that, let's talk about, future, like My Hero, or, the list of other, Black Clover, Naruto, Boruto, all these like Shonen Jump series that have come out. Like, do you honestly understand the scope of how big all of this is going to be at that time? Or do you just do you just hope?
Yeah,
Do you
no,
just
I
create
think
something
they just put it out
and
there.
then just, you know, like, do you put it out? Like, that's what I mean, you know. You know, then afterwards, you know, once they get that, you know, that big wave of like, holy shit, this has actually become something, do they take it even more seriously at that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like they're just creating because that's what they love to do. You know, whether they stick to a certain genre or certain story or certain anything like that, they just kind of want to create. And then as it grows and keeps growing, then it's like, all right, well, we need to keep more focus on this. We need to be more serious about what we're doing. We're going to scratch, you know, maybe they had like a story arc that they were going to go and they're like, we're going to scratch that. That's ridiculous. Makes no sense. And we're going to go this way instead. And then, you know, we wouldn't know if what they did because we just watch whatever they're out there producing, whatever out there making. So who knows? You know, it's just one of those things about, you know, who takes
being
what
a
seriously
creator
and just being a creator.
Yeah, well, that's the vice of all of us, right? We put something out there, we put our heart into it, we try and make sure that it's as enjoyable as possible,
Right?
And then we just have to let it go, and then we let it see what happens. And if it does take off and it ends up becoming a bit of a wave, do we ride that wave to the left? Do we take it to the right? Do we, you know what I mean? Do we crash this wave into something that would benefit us? You know, and these are all choices that we have to make once we actually put out that content. But that's, like I was gonna say, it's one of those things where we can't take ourselves seriously, but we take what we do seriously.
Absolutely.
And that's where we just kind of have to keep it with the motto.
Right.
And you know, I think as long as we continue doing our work the way we're doing it, we put out the content we put out, I think we'll be all right. People will appreciate the real, you know,
absolutely,
when it comes to everything we're doing. So yeah, man, moving off of shitty jobs, getting into anime. We really only have one last thing today. That's going to be video games. So I actually wanted to have you tell me all about your experience with Doom 2020 Eternal.
Doom 2020 Eternal has actually been a really fun and interesting game. I've really enjoyed it, actually, a lot. The very beginning of it, the intro of it was really nice. It was super loud, and all my buddies were like, what the hell is going on? Because they can hear the gameplay through my mixer. They just hear a bunch of guitar going. They hear a bunch of people screaming and asking for help. And I was like, oh, my bad, dog. And I'm just playing Doom real quick because, you know, I want to do it for this podcast. So I ran through it, and I got like a little bit through the city, and then I just kind of stopped.
Yeah. Stopped.
Yeah.
Just Doomslayer stopped
completely.
You got your mission and you were like, nah.
I was like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that I finished Doom. I went through it and knocked it out within the week. I mean, it's not a long game, you know, considering all these games that I've been playing lately. It's not a 200+ hour game, which is nice, honestly. It's a good change of pace from a lot of the things where you know that you are in the middle. Right. You know you're heading towards the end hits, the credits are done, and that's it. That the experience is finished. You don't have to worry about going back through and experiencing a whole other branching storyline after making another choice that, you know, you didn't make the first 3 hours in. Even
though it would be kind of cool. But you know what I think my problem is? I think my problem is that I have too many friends.
Why is what's that have to do with it?
Because every time I get online, I can't play single player games like this by myself.
Right.
I can't enjoy the game because I'm constantly berated by fucking invites.
Right.
And just invites. And if I don't accept an invite, then I'm being berated by text messages and, you know, Facebook messages and Instagram messages and probably smoke signals. I don't know. I don't go outside too often. But I'm just berated by all these messages. I'm pretty sure I got a courier pigeon once. I don't know. And I just want to enjoy the game. And so then like I'll join the party and I'll keep playing the game. And then they're like, you should play with us. You joined our party to play with us. And I was like, no, I joined my party because you're fucking annoying. That's why I joined the party. Now leave me alone. You know, like I want to play that game. Like I want to turn it up as loud as it can go until my like ears bleed, and then I just want to like listen to the soundtrack because you talk about the soundtrack being so good, and I want to listen to it, and I want to run around with a shotgun and a chainsaw and a machine gun and grenades and whatever else that fucking Doom Eternal throws at you, and just play through the game.
Yeah, man.
But I can't do that. And I'm sure like I can, everyone's going to be like, show offline, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't do that either.
Yeah.
Because I'm a people pleaser and I hate it.
Yeah.
Like someone wants to play with me. I feel bad that they're not playing with me. I feel bad all the time. I have to choose between friends. And that's why I always keep my party open so that friends can join. But some friends don't like other friends, and other friends don't like other friends, and friends don't want to play with other friends because they're so new, or because they're old, or because of whatever. And it's just like, I can't make everyone happy.
Social dynamics.
I can't make everyone happy.
Yeah. No, I got you, man. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Because I have no problem ignoring everybody just so that I can experience something. I've actually started playing a game called Yakuza Kiwami this week.
I'm familiar.
I've never played a Yakuza game in my life, but I've always heard that they're very entertaining. And so I'm going to go through that because it's on Game Pass, which I honestly don't know how Microsoft is making any fucking money off of Game Pass because there's so much content for so little. And I guess maybe it's just the eyes?
I do not know. I mean, obviously Xbox Live, Game Pass, there's a
$15 a month.
Subscription based.
Not sponsored.
But I also think that they're doing that new thing that they're coming out with that you can pay over time.
Lease out a console.
For like the new Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to be like getting a lot of money off of that. Because that also includes, like, when you're paying for the console, that also includes the Xbox Live. And they're not calling it Game Pass. They're calling it Xbox All Game Access or Game Access.
They're changing up the name, yeah, and it's just like a one single thing now, which I like, but just leave it at that. Like, stop.
So, like, I'm wondering if they're going to be going off of those sales.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wonder when they gave up Mixer this year, so they're gonna be putting all of their time and effort into probably consoles and producing badass games. They have a huge fucking library of publishers this year.
Yes.
So that's one of those things.
One of those publishers being Bethesda.
Yeah, that recently happened.
They picked up Bethesda.
Yeah.
You hear that? Fuck you, Sony.
That's actually how I played Doom. When they purchased them, I was able to get that on Game Pass. The DLC for Doom dropped this week, so I'll probably try and watch someone play through that because I'm not buying it. I'm just not going to do that.
Why don't you want to support the people you like to play, huh?
Because I can't even support myself.
Oh, that's right.
That's why.
That's right.
So I'm one of those people. I'm a freeloader. But I do appreciate Game Pass for what it is. And regardless of whether or not my account goes out, I'm going to create a new account to get it for $1. I'm just going to keep doing that. Xbox fucking sue me. That's all I'm saying. But,
they probably will.
Yeah. This thing gets big enough, I'm gonna really regret that. Legal disclaimer: I did not do that. So I guess when we can move on from talking about like going through online games and playing single player games and so forth. So you enjoy multiplayer type of games. Is there a game in your past that you remember that? I mean, my question was originally going to be, because this is also leading into the question of the week.
Right.
Is there a game that in the past had made you cry? Either before the age of 10 or after?
Why specifically 10?
Because it'd be funnier if you were a child.
A game that made me cry. I can't honestly tell you that there probably isn't a game that made me cry.
There isn't a game that has?
There is not.
Oh, okay, cool. Every game makes me cry. I also have seizures afterward. That's not normal.
There is not a game that currently exists that has made me cry. Is there games out there that could possibly? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played
some powerful ones, man.
But
Metal Gear Solid 4.
No, I played through it. I played through most of the Metal Gear Solids, and none of them really. I was like, all right, cool, man. Yeah. I was like, I get it. It's a heart touching story, and I felt something, but I wasn't tears crawling down my face. I'm trying to go through and think. There's really nothing that I can think of.
Okay, so what was the last game to make you mad? Like angry, livid. I'm gonna uninstall it.
Angry, livid, uninstall game. I can't think of that either. I'm just such a wholesome person.
It's just like I have a good time doing everything.
I have a fun time just playing everything. I will say though, there's a game, Smite is a game that I just have given up on.
Oh, really?
Not because of the game itself, just the community around it. The community around that game makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they just not welcoming to new players?
It's not only that they're just not welcoming. It's just everyone's dumb. Everyone has
potatoes for brains.
Kind of potatoes for brains, but like everyone has a certain way of playing, and if you're not playing that certain way, then they just
Then you're not playing it right.
Yeah, then you're just not playing it right the entire time. It's like, bro, just let me enjoy the game. Like, let me play how I want to play. Let me play this fucking strong, super healthy support in the mid lane, and just have fun with it. Or but no, people aren't like that. People aren't open to the ideas. There's a meta, and people want you to stick to the meta, and
yeah,
it's just dumb. And then the publisher fucking I even forget the name of the publisher.
Something stupid.
It's not something stupid.
Isn't it
It's
Ubisoft?
High Res.
Oh, High Res.
High Res. They're like, oh, we're trying to figure out, how to change up the meta, and they figure out how to change the meta, but all that does is actually change the meta. And now we have one meta from this new meta, and it's just.
There's really only so many ways to play a game like that, and with so many options, I imagine it's frustrating not to be able to experiment freely.
Yeah,
That's
all
I hear you.
That's all I wanted. I want to go back to Smite Beta, Smite Alpha even, and just experiment and have fun and everything. And like now there's another game, Spellbreak, that had recently come out, and that game was super fun because there was no meta, and now there's some kind of like cold meta, like a small meta in it that if you don't have this, then you're not, and it's just breaking the game. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah. Those games are engineered to be played a certain way, and I think that's just any multiplayer game.
So there's games like that piss me off. Cold War was fun. I enjoyed that while I was there.
Until it gets a meta.
Until it gets that meta, which right now, like even in the beta itself, it does kind of have a meta.
MP5.
Everyone's running fucking MP5, dog.
That's it.
And it's just like, why?
It's the winner.
Why? I don't understand why this fucking MP5 just lasers fucking rounds.
It has so much ammo for it. Like, this shit has no fucking right having that much ammo.
No, yeah. And then like literally I went into the system, like this is how dumb this is. Like I went into the system based off of the numbers they were giving me. I built my AK to be to be better than the MP5, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And it has no, like, on paper, by the numbers, it says that this AK is better than the MP5, the way I had built it. And it just wasn't.
Because it lets you do like a weaponsmith type thing.
No, yeah, it lets you do like a weaponsmith, and I built it to be better so that way I could just shit on everybody. Yeah. And it just straight wasn't. And I was
sucks.
How? And in every stat, it was better. But, I guess there's just that base stat.
X factor.
Somewhere in there that, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if a game is going to add some kind of gunsmithing section, it should pertain to the numbers that you're looking at, and not be some kind of weird base stat that you just can't see.
Yeah, I feel like those games have so many variables. Where you hit somebody, how you hit them, what time you're moving, what strafe they were doing. Like, it's so stupid. But I get you. Okay, so like with that, I'll just simply say The Last of Us 2 made me cry.
Last of Us 2, yeah, it's understandable.
Multiple times in that game, I was just like, because I mean, I've just had so much of a connection with all those characters in that game that it's just like, I love it. Cool. So moving on. Pretty much it, dude. We got our last question out of the way. We knocked out the rest of the podcast itself. Now all we have to do at this point is just kind of plug ourselves. So I'll do that. This is Savage talking for the Insufficient Breed podcast that you've been listening to, at least at this point. If you have been listening to us all the way out until this point, then I really appreciate your time, and so does Mongo. He won't tell you that, but I do. And I also wanted to go ahead and let you know that you're listening to this podcast at the moment, at least on our YouTube channel. I don't know if we're going to have it anywhere else just yet, because this is one of our first podcasts that we're actually publishing. But after a few of them, maybe once we get some reviews and some downloads, once I create some bot accounts to do so, I will go ahead and make sure that we can set ourselves up to Spotify, Pandora, pretty much anywhere else that we can get ourselves seen. So outside of that, Mongo, do you have anything else you want to tell the fans? Anyone else that is actually listening?
I love you.
We love you. That's what we want to say.
No, I love you more.
No. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, I don't know, see if we're actually. Oh fuck! Oh shit! We weren't recording that whole time.
We weren't.
No.
Wait, you. Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, is the red button supposed to be off or is it supposed to be on?
I don't know. I didn't buy that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit.
We can do this again. Do you want to restart it?
Wait, this thing doesn't even have batteries in it.
Fuck. Have we been talking to ourselves this whole time?
Maybe that's why you're so muffled, because like my headphones and then like I can't hear you.
It's not even on.
Yeah, it's just not even on. We're not even recording.
Shit.
I guess we just go ahead and do it in the next one. We'll scratch this one and then we'll just move on to the next one.
That sounds good. Let's go ahead and do that.
I'm feeling like a rocket. You burn me up. You give me a buzz, yeah. You burn me up. Turn up to 11. You burn me up. Hands down, you're a 10 out of 10. I really wanna